All right, cool. Well, thank you both for being on the podcast. I'm so excited that we were able to make this happen. We're here in LA, guys, at this beautiful rental property that I just got to see the inside of. But I would love for you guys just to introduce yourself, give a little context into like who you are and, you know, what brought you to like be in the situation that you are with the real estate and business and just, yeah, like the whole situation.
I'm Esmeralda. I'm Jose Sago's wife, and he's been always very entrepreneur, right? And real estate, and that's where we met you, and your energy was amazing. So we wanted to kind of contribute to your podcast and that energy that you're bringing to everyone. I'm a nurse, and I'm supporting my husband in every aspect I can, whether it's helping him design our units, our rental units. But I'll move on to my husband to his introduction because I'll continue.
Okay. Oh, hello, Mom. My name's Jose Sagun, first generation Mexican American. Well, actually, I'm half Mexican, half Guatemalan. And I always tell everyone to be patient because I think I'm half fucked up. And I'm trying to determine which half is. To this point, I don't know. But so given that said, I mean, I've always had an entrepreneurial since I was a little. I just didn't know it. I mean, at 8 years old, I had a paper route. I had 4 paper routes.
Wow. And
I worked none of them. I hired all my friends, and they all delivered the papers for me. And I went and I collected and I paid them off. And I kept maybe, $5, but $5 for doing nothing, or I'll take it any day. And I just, little by little, I've always had an eye for business. Maybe not big business, but it's done really well for me. I was a D+ student, and I've been able to accumulate close to $6 million in real estate. I have a business that I started in 2011 with $50,000 that generates close to 8 figures. So it's just trying to, at this point, I'm just trying to look for opportunities and take it easy because I think I've done enough at this point. Yeah.
That's super interesting. I've noticed a lot of entrepreneurs like didn't enjoy school or didn't do well in school. There's definitely exceptions, but it seems to just be like a common trend that a lot of them just like, was it an authority thing or did you not enjoy the subject? Like, what was it for you at school?
Well, I think it was mostly, it's just, I have a very short attention span. So I don't know what it is. I've never been clinically tested. Thank God. Who knows?
Never medicated.
Right, either. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I went to my parents tried, they put me at the best schools and everything. I couldn't retain much, it's just, I don't know what it was. But when it came to work, like I tell everyone, I'm the hardest working motherfucker I know. Mm-hmm. I worked I can go 24 hours. Even at this point, like I'll take my son with me to see what I do and help me out now. And he's all, I don't know how you did it.
Yeah.
But it's just the will and the drive and the refusal to fail, Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. And especially when you have no one to depend on, you have to depend on yourself. So right. I like to live a pretty good life and someone has to work.
Yeah. Has the motivation changed from like when you first started as an entrepreneur and you're like doing the paper routes and stuff to now, like what's motivating you to continue?
Interesting. Well, at this point, like right now, getting to a different, there's different priorities, I'm already over the fast cars, the fast food and all that stuff. Now I want more like, I want to enjoy, I want to travel. I want to see the world. I mean, we've been fortunate. We took some good trips last year. We went to Paris, Italy, London, Switzerland. I don't know.
Switzerland.
Wow.
Mexico. Yeah, we did a lot of traveling last year. So I mean, at this point, it's like I want to see a lot of the world, and I want to enjoy it now while I can still walk. Because I've seen other guys that they talk about when they go on cruises and they kind of suck because they're the youngest and everyone's in their 70s. And it's not fun. So.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but he likes what they say, vacations, or you're just in a spa and getting. I like to travel, meaning exploring.
Yeah, experiencing it.
Hiking and experiencing. I love history, so I'll be like, we went to Italy. We went and explored Pompeii, and
I'm the same way.
so I love that.
Yeah.
So, but we help each other where he enjoys his vacations. We'll have that throughout the year, and then I enjoy my travels, and he's on board.
Yeah.
We're up early and we come back late, but he's okay with it, and I'm okay with spas too.
Yeah. That's awesome. I feel like that's another thing I've noticed with like entrepreneurship is it like keeps you young because like you're excited about something. Whereas like, I don't know if you guys have heard this statistic, but there was some study they did of people that retire that there tends to be a trend that they die 10 years later if they retire to like nothing and they don't have a passion. But like if you're an entrepreneur and you continue to do that, you're constantly excited and like working towards a goal. Do you feel like that holds true?
Oh yeah, I mean, there is no retirement for an entrepreneur. We just take a step back and we become the puppet masters, which hopefully will be our children. You know, just help them, teach them. My goal is to teach them how to fish. You know, that way they can continue my legacy and hopefully duplicate it or whatever, take it to whatever they want. They're younger. I started late. I bought my first house at 42, and now I got 6 at 55. So if I would have started this in my 20s, who knows where I'd be today.
Yeah.
But it's been good. It's been good. So.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like what you've accomplished in that time frame. That's super inspiring. And like, what was the biggest obstacle like getting started?
Is everyone's a hater. Everyone. I mean, I'm sorry. Even in the beginning, no one believes in you.
Yeah.
Nobody. until you start producing, then they're like, oh, wait a minute. You know, because it's really hard to get support, you know, from anybody because everybody's scared. You know, that's the problem.
And it's a real struggle. When we got together, he was going through some really hard times, to the point where he was going to lose the business and sold his car. And we're like, we're going to be fine. You know, I work as a nurse, you work at the airport, we're going to be okay. We'll be fine. But he kept going and just kept going. And when there's ups and downs, the downs only make you stronger. So you can't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, like they say, right? So he's had those up and downs, but for some reason, they just bring him at a different level, and a higher level, and a higher level.
Yeah.
And he's just gotten amazing. Like the struggles here with the rental. He learned so much from it.
Yeah.
His new rental, he's done amazing. It's done.
Yeah.
You know, one's done, one's rented, the other one's going, and it's going to get rented. So he's learned. He doesn't let it affect him. It just pushes him to do more.
Yeah. Yeah. So those lows were kind of like required in order for you to appreciate the success.
It sucks, but that's the way you learn.
Yeah.
By getting kicks in the gut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, like when your parents, you know, don't do this, don't do that, it's for your own good, listen to me, and you don't really get it until you actually live it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's everybody, I believe.
Yeah. Were you raised around entrepreneurs?
My dad was an entrepreneur. Yeah, he was crazy though. He didn't care. He really didn't care. He like his first business did go bankrupt. He was out of work for like 6 months, but he started. He became a partner in another company, and then he started his own transportation company. Actually, I think he was back in I want to say late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
They even did a story on him in the Wall Street Journal.
Wow.
I was one of the first Hispanic bus owners in the United States.
So same industry.
Yes.
Super cool.
I started mine because of him.
Right.
He sold his business, and 2 years later, he says, I shouldn't have sold. Help me out. And then I helped him out, but unfortunately, we get along better as father and son than partners. So he had to go. So I continue with the business. You know, it's better this way. We get along now, and you know, but it's all. I mean, I kind of owe it to him because if he wouldn't have pushed me to get to started, who knows what would have happened.
Yeah.
It's been tough.
Yeah.
I gotta lie.
Do you think that it's wise to go into business with family, or do you think that it tends to not work out?
It hasn't worked out for me.
Right.
That's for me. I don't know.
Right.
I hear other people that it does. You know, I mean, I've seen it, and I'm jealous. I really wish it would have worked out for me. That was my goal.
Yeah.
Is to have my siblings, my parents, everyone involved. But
Yeah. Well, I think like one thing I've experienced, like with my family either supporting or not supporting me in business, is like they already have a preconceived notion of like who you are because they know you in this other context of like being your family member, being your friend, like if it's a friend. And so then like kind of taking that into a new context of business where everything has to be like very just like logic driven and not emotional, it's kind of hard to take that same relationship and make it work in a different context.
And maybe that's a valid point. Maybe that's the reason. Because now that you bring that up, because I was the fuck up. I did horrible in school. I was the one that always got suspended. And my sister graduated with honors. They did well, really well. They were the smart ones, and I was the screw up. So maybe that was the problem. Oh.
You don't look like the screw up now.
Right. Right? Am I the screw up?
It's crazy though. I was thinking about like on the way here because I've just met so many incredible people like in the last year going to conferences and through like just online networking groups and stuff. And I've experienced so much more support from like total strangers than I have from like some of the people that were like closest to me, because they had this idea in their head of like they wanted, like my parents really wanted me to go to law school. That was my plan for a while, to go to college, become a lawyer, get into politics. And then I met a couple entrepreneurs and I was just like, whoa, this is cool. And dropped out of college. And it was I'm like the kind of person that I make decisions very fast. So they were not a fan of that for the first like year or so of me doing that. And it wasn't until maybe like the last 6 months that they've come around. They're like, okay, she's actually serious about this.
Yeah, which is great that they need to support you, because we're like maybe two opposites. Because I did graduate from college, but he's making a lot more money than me. But I love what I do. I love being a nurse, and I know he's been wanting me to kind of move towards what he's doing, and it's tough because I love being a nurse.
Yeah.
So I can't come to him and say, oh, it was a terrible day, because he'll be like, you love being a nurse. He doesn't want to hear it.
How do you balance that? Like having your career, maintaining a relationship, having kids, and then also maintaining multiple businesses. How do you like,
I have to completely understand. There's been times we've gone to a Christmas party and we had to leave. I don't think we even got our dinner.
For 2 minutes.
Wow. Yeah.
Christmas
So,
too.
A Christmas dinner, like a Christmas party, and we had to walk out because of the business. And I'm okay with it because that's part of the business, and I have to be understanding. And you see us, you know, we have our moments where we're having fun at Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
Or we're here, or he's working, or they call him at 2 a.m, and I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning, and I could hear the call, but somehow we make it work.
Yeah, that's like, it's incredible because like, yeah, like you said, like I see your posts, like you guys can have a ton of fun, and then you're talking about like the 24 hours of straight work, like being able to balance is like having a ton of fun and like working like crazy is really impressive.
Well, what's that? I don't know who said it, but someone says, work hard and relax harder or something like that.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah. Play harder. Yeah. So, and you know, it's just, I don't see it as work though. Like she likes being a nurse. I mean, I'm a problem solver. You bring me a problem and I don't care what it is and I'll figure it out. And yeah, it's just, you know, like we'll sit there, she'll say, hey, let's watch a movie or watch a movie. I'll sit there for 20 minutes and I get up and go to my computer.
Can't sit still.
I can't, you know, it's just, I got to check or something or check my phone.
No, but what's your favorite movie? You'll sit there and watch it over and over.
That was only.
Hotel, what?
Oh, Transylvania. Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh, I love it.
Is it good?
It's the best for.
Really?
Yes.
I'll have to watch that.
Yes. But yeah, definitely.
I guess your hobbies just happen to be very lucrative hobbies.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the thing is because, you know, you really, and that's the thing I always tell, like I tell my son, it's like, you know, and their kids, it's like, bust your ass now because, I mean, you want to live the life that you really dreamt about. You're at a point right now that physically you can do it. And the only one holding you back right now is yourself. So, because I mean, I feel like I feel every 10 years, regardless of what everyone says, you start losing it. So every 10 years I feel a drop. So I'm trying to stay active to avoid that. So I can't work the way I used to before. Physically, I just can't. But if you start young enough, you can, look, I'm 12 years, 13 years into this, and I'm pretty much, if I want to, I could just stop working.
Yeah.
And then off of that and live very well.
Yeah. Do you think you would like go crazy if you just couldn't go and work on business anymore?
Well, there's always something to do. I have my rental, so they're always going to be calling me. There's always going to be something. Like I said, there's no such thing as total retirement when you're an entrepreneur because you got something going on.
Yeah.
On top of this, so my thing is I also have I have season tickets to the Lakers, to the Dodgers, to the Rams, and I sell those on the side. Or when we can't make it to the game, so that keeps me busy. I have a small little store that we sell potato chips and soda to my customers. So there's a lot of little things that just keep adding to the pie.
How did you get into those?
Like I said, it's just so it's funny because years ago I had this guy that came out and he had those quarter vendors where you put little quarters, you get toy or candy, and they would always be empty. And I would tell him, hey, you know what? At least come once a month or every 2 weeks and look at them, clean them up, and make sure they're filled. Because I would feel bad. Little kid put a quarter and nothing comes out. So he didn't listen to me. So then I did some research and I found him, and I told him to get his machines out. And I bought machines. I think my initial investment was $1,000 for 5-6 different machines.
Okay.
And wow, that was one of the best ones.
Really?
Yeah. Because and then after I did the same thing, I took over. I bought a Coke machine, but we had a lot of walk-through customers, and it got to the point where I was making over $2,000 a month just on the vending machines.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. It's just and I didn't know it made that kind of money.
Right.
I would have done it a long time ago.
Yeah. You always I always see videos of people. It's there's people that just do vending machines that talk about $20K, $30K a month, and they've just got them everywhere. And then there's people that they just do rentals, and there's people that just do convenience stores. And how do you when you see an opportunity that is lucrative, how do you decide whether this is something you want to go all in on and really try, or focus on what you have already in front of you?
Well, that's what I do. I see what's going to benefit what I already have. So I have my one main business, and if I could feed off of it, that's what I do. So I don't like to pay rent, but I need locations to operate. So I bought a property, and then I ran into my business. So I run my business out of my property. My business pays for the property, and it works out. And I have 1, 2, 3 locations. So whatever I can buy, I will buy it. Unfortunately, I can't buy everything. There's some certain spots that I do have to rent, but the majority of them I try to just purchase, and I just try to feed off of what I'm already having. Like I said, I put the vending machines in my offices, so that's my own customer. That's what I'm catering to.
Yeah. So it's helping what you already have.
Yeah.
And you've talked about some of the incredible properties. You have a place on the water and all these really cool places that you own. And so I'm curious, because a lot of people would look at your life and that's their dream. And I want to know from your perspective if there's anything that maybe as you were building your business and you're looking at wealth and looking at success that you kind of thought it would bring that maybe it didn't, or if there's things that come with success that you didn't expect. Is it, I don't know how to word it exactly, but are there drawbacks to having that level of success? You're talking about a liability, that's one.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's always, everybody wants the money. Nobody wants to put the effort. Drawbacks, that's tough because everybody expects you to take care of them, and who's going to, it's everyone, it's funny because when I was still working, I had a coworker and he goes, hey, can you lend me, $500? And I go, for what? He goes, my car payment, I'm short this month. I said, okay, cool. I go, so if I'm short 1 month, do you think you'll be able to help me out? He says, well, what's your car payment? I go, $1,200. And he goes, oh, no way I can't help you. And I go, then in reality, I can't help you. He goes, well, you have money. I go, exactly. I have to have money because no one can bail me out. So I have to make sure I have enough money. And that's the one thing I was true. I try to keep 12 months worth of funds for anything that I need.
Yeah.
So, when you have you have to make sure you have enough money to cover your rentals. As a matter, I just found out one of my properties I need to buy a water heater that's $5,000. So it's not that easy. You can't just look at your buddy next door and say, "Hey, you got $5,000, you can spot me."
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's the one thing that's kind of frustrating because everybody assumes that you're just sitting on a pile of gold and you're not.
Yeah.
We kind of are, but the thing is that we just can't. I can't just take money out of the house.
Right. It doesn't grow on trees. Yeah. No, that's something I've also heard on like podcasts and stuff too. It's just like when you kind of make that shift and like some of the other people in your life haven't, now they look to you like almost like you owe them something. And yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, even I remember when I was first starting and I wasn't doing, how can I say it? I was making a little bit of money. And one of my family members wanted me to help her out. And I says, I can't. I'm not there yet. And she was like, and I was watching a podcast coming of Susie Orman. To this day, she hates Susie Orman because Susie Orman would say, first you have to take care of yourself before you can help anybody else. And I told her, I said, look, I have to take care of me. Let me get to where I need to get to, then I can help you out. And she did not want to hear that. But it was true.
Yeah.
Because once I got to where I needed to, then I was able to take care of everybody that I wanted to take care of. So that's something you got to take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
And I know we haven't touched the subject, but one of the things that it's so important to us is keeping God in our lives and keeping us grounded, because that's huge for us. We make sure whether we're out on Saturday, Sunday, we're at mass, at church, and we just it's part of our life.
Yeah.
You have to. That's whether you're having great times, excellent times, or bad times, God should always be part of your life.
Yeah,
whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. No, I love that because I feel like it's something that like, obviously at Ryan Pineda's conference, like we're around a lot of people that have that kind of value system, but usually in like the entrepreneurial world, that's not really a subject that's talked about a lot. And it's funny because a lot of entrepreneurs I talk to do actually have a good foundation of faith and they do have like that belief system, but it's not talked about for some reason. It's still kind of like this touchy subject.
Oh, it is. I guess a lot of them are scared.
Yeah.
Because nobody in today's, what do they call that?
Secular.
It's just everyone I don't know if you can't be proud of what you are. You're scared who you're going to offend. You don't want to lose followers. And, I don't really care,
Yeah, they're people pleasing.
It's funny because they go, are you religious? I go, I don't know. I'm a practicing Catholic, so I don't know what
Same.
it is.
I'm Catholic too. That's cool.
So I mean, like, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm Christian, and I go, well, that's good. I go, the way I see it's like, look, we're trying to go from point A to point B. You want to go that way? Cool. I want to go this way. Cool. I go, what happens at the end of the day if, we just have to live right,
Yeah.
So my son and daughter, they went to a Christian high school. We're Catholic. And from day one, when they started there, I said, you have to learn to respect everyone's religion. There's Christians, Buddhists, atheists, Catholic. You need to respect one another. And that's one thing I've always done. Respect everyone's faith or religion.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. There's a lot in common too between like a lot of the different religions. Like even like, I mean, obviously like in Christianity, we share very similar Bible. It's not always identical, and Judaism, we share half a Bible with them.
Right.
But even like a lot of the principles in like Buddhism and I don't know anything really about the Muslim faith, but I know like in Buddhism and in all the Christian sects, there's a lot of similarities. So it's like, I think that's something people have a hard time finding is like looking at the 90% that you share in common. Instead, we have the society that like wants to focus on the 10% polarizing different. Yeah. So I think that's like really helpful when you can just like, because I worked in politics for 6 months and my job was to go and ask these polarizing questions. Like, are you Republican or are you liberal? I was like, that's not going to accomplish anything with a 19-year-old student. I'm not going to ask them that. So I would just ask them, like, do you believe in free speech? Yeah. And like, there was just simple questions that like we all agreed on. And then at least they could see me as a human being that valued their opinion. And that was a lot more enticing for them to then be open to the idea of conservative values. So I think that's something that like in this society it's kind of hard to find, is that like just like let's look at what we actually have in common,
Right.
and find that first.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because I mean, if we focus more on the good, like you said, and the positives, we would have a lot less problems. It's just, you know, unfortunately, I think in today's society, it's lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they took religion out of school and everything, and look at all the problems we're having.
Yeah.
All these kids doing all these burnouts. They don't respect the authority. They don't respect their parents. So how do we expect them to respect authority, police, and you know, anything? You know, it's just, I don't know. I just think we've become really a weak society.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing for me, but it's bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's bad because we need to be strong. We want to be as an American, we want to be seen as a strong country together. And I think we're at this point right now with everything that's going on, we're kind of like a joke.
Yeah.
That kind of bothers me.
Do you think like more entrepreneurs would solve some of those problems, like having more people start their own businesses and kind of go on their own, be independent from the system?
I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think that's the problem, is just that, you know, we have to start very young, teaching them, you know, because it's a mindset. It's at the end of the day, it's, you have to understand delayed gratification. That should be like one of the top things, because we want everything yesterday.
Yeah.
And we don't want to wait, and that's the problem. So
Yeah.
I think if you really gotta, I try to, if anyone asks, like even yourself, I don't have a problem helping them. You know? I mean, my schedule is very, very tight. I always got something going on. So whenever is there ever a bad time? It's always a bad time. But I mean,
There's always fires to put out.
yeah, there's always something going on, you know.
Today with
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
No, yeah.
So I mean, it's like I got 10,000 things going on. You know, phone calls. Fortunately, right now nothing's happened. That's good. Yeah. But yeah, I think, you know, we have a moral obligation to help each other. You know, I don't care if you're white, black, yellow, green, you know, and if I can help you, let's help you, you know. And, you know, I'd like, because I want to be on the reciprocating of that at one point, you know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these entrepreneurs and these influencers today they're all about me. What can I get? How much am I going to make? Yeah, we need money to live, but I think we got to give back. That's why, I mean, to me, my favorite is Michael Zuber. You know, he's the best. I love it.
Who's that? I'm not
He does podcast One Rental at a Time.
Oh, I think I have heard that before.
that Ryan Pena.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
It was one of the last.
I don't remember. I don't remember, but
Okay.
yeah.
I remember seeing his name, but I don't know if I heard him talk.
Yeah.
But I'll have to
His
check out the
classes,
podcast.
his class is like, I think now he raised it. It's like $500.
Okay.
When I signed up, I think it was like $199.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I've gone to 3 of his meetups, and I think they were like $25.
Mm.
You know, I
That's
see
crazy
some
cheap.
other ones. Yeah, so was Tony Robbins like, he wants my firstborn. Yeah.
Alex Ramosi is 5K.
You know, I don't know if I don't know.
Yeah.
They say that, you know, you get what you pay for, but I don't know.
Yeah. You have to really know what you're looking to get out of it.
You really have to-
But he was really good about listening to Michael Zuber every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is you have to be focused, and you have to be consistent. Consistent. And that's what if you listen to most of these guys, that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Is that they're following their market, they're looking, they're doing the homework, and just go for it. This house, I found it almost 8 months before I bought it.
Wow.
And I told the real estate agent, and I go, because he wanted 1.45, and I just don't like paying what they ask. Yeah, it's just, I'm like, give him 1.4. Oh, he's not going to take it. 6 months later, he called me, and I got it for 1.4.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't think I've ever paid asking price for anything that I bought.
Wow.
I've always gotten a deal. Oh, except my first house.
Okay.
Well, but that was a repo, so I couldn't. We're talking 2010, so you had to pay what they
And
wanted.
the prices weren't that bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I paid $300 for it, and I sold it for $600.
Yeah.
6 years
I
later.
think it's like a mental thing. Like,
Yeah,
even if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
listed below value and you don't want to buy something for like what it's listed for, I could get a
You
little
want
bit off that.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to feel like you won.
Yeah. Could you talk a little bit about like getting around successful people? Because you mentioned like one of the people that you're working with right now, a billionaire, and like the way he looks at money, and like how important is it? Like, obviously we met at a networking event, just like getting around other entrepreneurs.
Well, it's very intimidating, I'm not gonna lie, because I mean, but at the same time, this guy, he's got a good vision. He sees he's not dumb, so he sees a great opportunity, and just I'm just super. I don't know. I don't even know how to think. I'm still absorbing it because it's just happening.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really happened. It hasn't come to fruition. But once it does, it's going to be pretty. Maybe that'll be something we could talk about.
Follow up.
A follow-up, because
Yeah.
this is something that maybe you can't really touch on.
Yeah, I can't really get too many specifics at this point.
Yeah.
But there'll be a follow-up.
Yeah.
A follow-up.
Yeah. Okay. So like broader question then, just like getting around other people that like think on a higher level, has that played a role in just like as you were starting out, kind of like speaking to people that want to get started in entrepreneurship? How important is that? Like networking with people, do you think it's a make or break, or is it just something that helps?
I really don't. I'm a one-man show. It's just me and my family, because I mean, I got so much going on. I got to run my business. I got to deal with, I got 25 employees. I got how many renters? So I got a lot going on, so I don't have time to. But I do go to events, and I do talk to people. And to me, it's more of like an inspirational thing. I mean, I watch podcasts all the time. I live on YouTube. I don't know.
So that's what he's done.
Yeah.
I take showers with them more than I do with my wife.
Who's your favorite YouTuber?
Michael Zuber.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I like him, and also Alux. Have you watched Alux?
I've heard of his name. I haven't.
But it's you gotta follow. Just do Alux.
Alux, okay.
And they're like, it's really good.
Okay.
It's really good.
I'll have to check that out.
That one. Bigger Pockets. I don't know. Some of them are okay.
Yeah. They're like a classic one, right? Like, been around a while.
Yeah. I mean, but I think the one I've been following a lot is what's his name? Coach Carson.
Okay.
He's, he's actually, I think he was living in Spain, and he has rental properties here.
Oh, wow.
And then he lived in South America for a minute. So
That's going to be interesting, managing.
So he gets ideas from these people.
right.
So then he comes to me and says, let's go to Italy and live there for like a month.
Hey, you can get a house
and then later,
for like 5,000 euros.
And then a week later, he's like, let's go to Mexico and just stay there for like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, and I'm working. Yeah, you need to quit.
That's your problem.
Test it out for 3 months.
He's you quit or I'll send you a postcard. I'm like, so that
I
really.
promise I won't forget you.
Okay, last question. I wanna ask both of you this question, because I think especially for my generation, it's like a really interesting, like as a young entrepreneur, like trying to date and identify qualities in a potential spouse, especially when you want to be an entrepreneur, I think is such like a difficult thing to do. And clearly you guys have figured that out. Like, and I think it's very rare that you see a couple that works so well together and manages like having businesses, having a career, having like raising kids, having faith, like all those things. And you guys do it so like gracefully. So I'm curious, like, what's kind of your advice to someone from the younger generation in maybe, number one, like prepare yourself for that next stage of life where you are looking for a spouse, and then also like how do you identify and sort of set the foundation for a good relationship?
Well, it's been 10 years of learning experience, because every relationship has their ups and downs, and we learned to know what makes him happy, what makes me happy. And like I said earlier, he likes vacations, I like travel. So we kind of do a little bit that makes both of us happy, but it's always coming down to a middle ground. So we can't say it's been like the easiest road, because I don't think I've ever heard of a marriage being the easiest road, but definitely someone that's going to be able to support you. Like, I can't be upset over leaving a Christmas party. I can't be upset because they're calling him at 2 a.m. And he can't be upset at me for waking him up at 4:30 in the morning when I have to go to work.
Yes, I can.
So and then and I think more than anything too, it's having God, just part of our marriage and part of our life it's been a blessing for us, right?
Yeah.
And the priest, Father Tim, is amazing. He's always checking out on us. When we leave mass, he's always, how's he doing? Is he being good? And I'll be like,
Holding you accountable. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, that's a interesting question. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I got lucky, because I wasn't nowhere near to where I am today. I did start my business. I was struggling. I was holding down 2 jobs plus the business. I was doing everything and anything not to drown. The one thing I do tell everyone I try now is like I said, I was lucky because, she goes with the flow. She's pretty relaxed. I'm very intense. So that kind of helps me. She lets me do what I need to do. She likes to spend money. I like to make money. So
It works out.
yeah, it works out. It works out, I mean, she likes to do all these vacations. Somebody's got to pay for them. So, I mean, it works out, so I mean,
that's bad. Someone has to.
yeah.
There you go.
I think she was a travel agent in a previous life.
Oh, okay.
She's really
That's a good combo.
Yes. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think our faith is what really has helped because it's been tough. I mean, I don't know why I've accomplished everything that I shouldn't have accomplished it. If you look at everything, I did everything wrong, but I'm here, I'm doing well, and it's only going to get better. So it's kind of like someone's looking out for me.
Yeah.
There's no way I did this all by myself.
Yeah.
So, you just got to be grateful and give back.
Yeah.
Give back. And, I just try to stay focused on my faith and do right by people and help wherever I can.
Yeah. I love how you guys are so different. You have you've made very clear distinctions your differences. I think so many people think that they need to find someone that's the exact same as them, or they have this idea of these boxes they have to check, they have to enjoy the same activities and all these things. And so that's super refreshing to hear. It's more you guys prioritize the values and the things that are going to inform your decisions, but you still have the differences and the preferences and stuff, and you've just learned how to compromise and make those work together.
Oh, and that's the main thing. It's like I said, the most important to me is the faith and the drive. She has drive. It's different than mine. So I can't expect her to do what I do, and she can't expect me. If I see blood, I start, all right, my knees get really weak and I start getting queasy.
Yeah.
See, when I go get my blood, I got to turn away. I just don't like seeing blood. But you could talk to me about a business problem and everything falling apart, and I'll find a solution, and things like that. So, but definitely you got to find. One thing I do tell everyone is find someone that's got the drive that you have. It doesn't have to be the same thing but she's willing to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go fight the battle with you, or she's willing to support you.
Yeah.
So when you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and she's right there ready to open the door at midnight when you're walking through.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's such a great note to wrap up on. And you said you got lucky. That reminded me of something Alex Hormozy said. I'm just a walking mini Alex Hormozy, but this is the way I listen to his podcast every day. But somebody asked him how do you get a wife like Layla? And he was like, you either win or you lose in the draft. And I was like, that's powerful, because a lot of people are trying to change their spouse into being somebody. And it's you really have to find that person that has those qualities and has those values. So
I think the sooner you determine whether she's that person or he's that person, and you have to make it tough decision. The tough decision being to move on or to go all in. Either one's not easy.
Yeah.
Because trust me, when we were talking about getting married, well, you know what it was? Because I said, you know what, we're gonna get married. So that was it. But I mean, for some people it's difficult.
Yeah.
Plus I got married old. So she has 2 children, I have 1. So I got married at 45 and you were 40. So yeah, I was single for a long time, but I was ready.
Yeah. My parents actually got married. My dad was 40 and my mom was 35.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, my youngest sister was born when my mom was almost like 45 or 46.
Wow.
Yeah. That's really cool though. And then I have two siblings two siblings on my dad's side that are half siblings, and a sibling on my mom's side. So it's also a blended family.
Yeah,
That's
so
super
we're a
cool.
blended family.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
No,
That
I think you guys covered everything.
Yeah, that was incredible advice. I really just appreciate you guys taking the time to share that. I think especially for like my generation, that's so inspiring that you just started like basically a decade ago, and what you've built, and then just all of those nuggets you shared on relationships and values. Like you've got the like that, like what do they call it? It's like the full circle success. Like it's I'm blanking on the word, but you've checked all the boxes, whereas a lot of people just they get the money, or they have one aspect of success, but they're kind of lacking in the other areas of life. And you guys, you have the full picture. So that's super inspiring. We're definitely gonna have to do a follow-up podcast.
Well, you're inspiring to us. We were talking about you when we met you. We're like, wow, she's here by herself. That's amazing, and brave.
Thank you.
You are inspiration. And we did talk about you to our children, like, look, she's traveling here.
We're going to get them to start following you.
Yes. Oh, I would love to connect with them. Yeah, I was telling my parents about you too. I was like, I was so nervous right before the networking dinner. I was like, I'm just going to go talk to the first people I see. And it was you guys. And I was like, they were so nice. I got so lucky. But yeah, I was like, I had to go. And I think I just like, regardless of what it is, like when it comes to like entrepreneurship, I was like, I would love to have people that would come with me, but I'm going to do it regardless. So it's really cool the people that you wind up meeting along the way.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of good mentors on. You're lucky though, because you have YouTube University.
Yes.
I didn't have that.
I got that.
Yeah,
that edge.
so-
But it sounds like you're doing the deep dive research now. So.
I use YouTube in nursing too.
Oh, do you?
I did when I was in school. I used YouTube for everything. If there's a lecture, there's something I didn't understand, I looked it up. Someone else explained it better.
Yeah.
So that it made more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, YouTube was great.
It's got everything. But yeah, well, thank you guys. This is amazing.
All right.
That's a wrap, but I'm excited to share this.
All right.
So much learning. I'm going to be like taking notes as I edit it.
No problem.